We're not
So
just building steel objects.
just to kind of give you an idea of how things are going to work today, we're we'll I'll go ahead and if you want to stop sharing there, that'd be great because I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to play some music here to get things started. And while everyone rolls in, and then if you would like to do a presentation, well, yeah, let me ask you that. Did you want to do a presentation, or I can do an interview, like I had asked?
I can do a quick like intro to myself and the company, and then we can go to like interview or questions. I'm fine with whatever. How do I get this back? Oh, there we go. Stop share.
That sounds great. Cool. Well, I'm going to quickly send this link over.
Want to do a presentation, or I can do an interview.
Let me send this to Tanner. Okay, so this is going to work a little bit different. I think you presented at one of our Get Hired summits. Is that right?
No, I don't think I have. Well, did I? No.
If it has, it's been a while. So I'll just tell you here. This will work a little bit different. So the way that it's going to work is all of your the comments are going to come through on this link. So I just posted in the chat there. We're going to be doing the meeting here on Zoom and then broadcasting it onto Mentally. And so the comments and all of the folks on Mentally are going to be able to see through that link over there.
Okay.
So if you have a Mentally account, you'll be able to log in there and see those comments. If not, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I can just ask you the questions and tell you what's.
Yeah, if you just want to ask me the questions, then I make sure I'm not missing anything.
That'd be great. So yep, we're going live right now. So let me play some jams while everyone comes in and joins.
Okay.
All of these years, all of this time, still you got all my attention. I'm feeling it too when you walk by, touching my hand like you need it. Across the room, catching my eye, already know what you're thinking. Cause I know all of your secrets. How you talk in your sleep, play the songs on repeat till you know every single word. Those commercials you like, how they all make you cry, how you need a little space when you're hurt. The way that your head falls in the morning when you first wake up, the way that I know all the weird things in your coffee cup. I love the way I know that you lie, the way that I know you like no one does. Sit on our bed, watch you get dressed. Know we got plans, we can break up. I send a text to all of our friends, tell them we're not gonna make it. All of these years, all of this time, still you got all my attention. Yeah, you got all my attention. The way that your hair falls in the morning when you first wake up. The way that I know we think I know that you lie. No one does. Can you sleep? Play the songs on repeat till you know every single word. What you hate, what you like, I see all of your sides and the new ones I'm trying to learn. The way that your head falls in the morning when you first wake up. The way that I know the weird things in your coffee. I know that you're lying, the way that you're smiling. Oh, you, I know. I know one does. Oh, and I love that. I know you, like no one does.
All right. right, everyone. Welcome to Get Hired Live. This is our final session of the day and your last chance to get hired live with some of our fantastic employer partners. We are so excited to have Traeger Grills in the house. Josh is a friend and he is excited to chat to you about the company, the culture, the roles, the opportunity to work with an amazing employer like Traeger. So before we get in, I just want to recognize everyone that's coming in here on the chats. We're stoked to have you, Robert. Thanks. It has been a great event so far, and we're excited. Neri, what's going on? Neri, it looks like he is looking for roles in marketing, sales, or management, and in Utah, Colorado, and Arizona. And then Raina, what's going on, Raina? Good to have you here from Springville. And she's excited to learn more about Traeger. You guys are not going to be disappointed. Traeger is incredible. Tim, good to see you again, coming in from New York City, looking for HR positions. Yeah, we're fired up. As you're coming into the chat here, go ahead and introduce yourself. And what would be really helpful for us is if you tell us what types of roles you're looking for. Bonus, if you can tell us where you're tuning in from as well. We love that. So yeah, we have Josh Olofsson on the line, and Josh is a recruiter at Traeger, and he's going to be talking to us a little bit about what it's like to work there. But before we get too deep, Josh, if you want to introduce yourself and just tell us what your role is at Traeger and what it is that you do day to day.
Yeah. So can you guys hear me okay? Yep. Awesome. Yeah, so as Luke just mentioned, my name is Josh Olofsson. I am the head of recruiting here at Traeger Grills. I've been with Traeger now for it'll be 5 years in May. So it's been an awesome ride. I came in 2016 when we had about roughly 70 corporate office employees. We're close to, we'll by the end of next year, we'll be close to 300. So just growing like crazy here, having an awesome time doing it. And, my day to day, I am, as I mentioned, the head of recruiting. So I am actively recruiting for pretty much every position that we have in the company. Currently, as far as recruiting is concerned, I am a team of one. So it's kind of insane, but we're hopefully adding to my team this year. And so, day to day, just, interviewing, sourcing and just trying to find some good, awesome talent out there to kind of join our team and join our brand.
This is awesome, Josh. And you've done an incredible job. So I'm really curious. This is always, when I was working at LinkedIn, we would always talk about, how many people did you help land a job at the company? And you've been with Traeger for a while now. So like of that 300, how many of those did you have a hand in hiring?
So that's just the corporate office. So we also have sales reps, across the US. So if you include sales reps and corporate office, it's hundreds. So it's probably like 300, 400.
Holy Toledo. So what you're saying is that you're the most popular guy at Traeger, really?
Pretty close. It's funny. I have a very funny relationship with our employee base. I love to razz people, and our company loves to razz me back. So a lot of times we hire somebody on and they come into like a company meeting and they see a lot of trash talk coming my way. And they probably think, man, everybody here hates that guy. But I love to give crap and they love to give it back to me. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I love it. Cool culture. And so before we get too deep into everyone's questions, first of all, I just want to recognize Jason coming in on the chat here and looking for some data science and engineering roles. Tuning in from Rexburg. Must be freezing up there right now. And then we got Tim G as well. He's got some questions coming through. But before we get too deep in the questions and talking about all of that, like I'm really interested to hear what your route to Traeger was and how did you end up working for such an awesome company?
Yeah, so out of college, I went to the U. I get a lot of crap for that too because I'm a huge BYU fan. but I went to the U. So out of college, I had an opportunity to work with a small startup company. It was a tech finance company called Crest Financial. For those of you that are in the Utah area, you may have heard of Progressive Leasing. They're kind of the big giant in that space. And so we were second to market in that space. And I started with that startup when there was 4 employees. We grew it, I think in 2015 or 2016, we were Utah Business Magazine's fastest growing company in Utah. So as I worked there for about 5 years. And then one of our early investors is the CEO of Traeger, Jeremy Andrus. So I got to know Jeremy a little bit through that. And so as we were growing, I just, had conversations with Jeremy, and Jeremy reached out to me and said, "Hey, we have something that's similar to the role that you're doing at Crest. I don't know if you'd be interested." And, it took something special for me to leave that position just because, I had a really good relationship with the owners, and, but Jeremy's leadership and just the mission of Traeger, I mean, how could I turn it down? And so that's kind of what took me here, and that's what's kept me here. So
that's awesome. And just talk to that a little bit. Jeremy is incredible in and of himself. Can you talk a little bit about some of his background and experience in leadership? Because he's had one hell of a career.
Yeah, he has to be one of, like, as far as I'm concerned, in my personal life, my professional life, my spiritual life, he's probably hands down the best leader of people I've ever come across. Wow. He was the former CEO of Skull Candy, really exploded that business. After that, he was just kind of looking for his next opportunity, and he came across a Traeger grill. A friend of his had one, and he was at a party, and his friend was using it, and his friend was just raving about the product, and Jeremy was just wondering to himself why he had never heard of the product. And so he then got a group together and kind of did some more due diligence into the business and into the company, and found out that there was this amazing product in the Northwest that just had incredible enthusiasm from their users, but just not a lot of market share. And so he got a group together and purchased the business away from Joe Traeger, the Traeger family.
Wow. And
to kind of give you a glimpse into his leadership, so the Traeger family owned the business for about 25 years. In that 25 years, they had a patent on the product, so they didn't have a lot of competition. And so for 20 of those 25 years, they didn't have any competition. And so for their last year of revenue from the Traeger family owning the business, I think they did about 60 million in revenue. So that was their last year of business. So from when Jeremy took it over from 60 million, within 5 years, he took it from 60 million to 500 million in 5 years with competition. So that kind of shows you, what good leadership can do, and how he's really taken the brand to the next level in a short amount of time. He's an incredible leader. He understands brands. He understands people. He understands employees and what motivates them and what it takes to succeed. And that is take care of your employees. And I think that's what makes it, part of what makes it so special to work here is Jeremy truly cares from the top on down. There's just a real focus on making sure our employees have amazing experiences while they're here.
Wow. That is so cool. And it's so crazy that's the story. You talk to anyone who's serious about their grilling and kind of wood fire grilling, and they'll tell you that Traeger is the number one, and you go to anyone's house and that's what they're using. So that's really cool. But before we get too deep there, tell us a little bit about the company in terms of how it actually makes its sales and its money, and about how the business runs. Are you guys kind of online? Are you in retail? What percentage of kind of is the breakout there?
Yeah, so heavily in retail. We do a bit online. It's actually our online business and strategy is growing right now. Obviously. with COVID, but we're really growing that channel inside of like Amazon and some other online platforms. But before COVID, a lot of it was in retail. So we have exclusivity with Home Depot. We've been in Costco for over 10 years. Those are some of our biggest channels. Ace True Value Hardware. So those have been like the main sales avenues that we utilize. But as I mentioned, our online space is growing rapidly. Wow. And so that's kind of, it's going to change kind of how we do or how we've done our sales channels in the past.
Really cool. So I guess with that, as the business is changing and things are evolving, what types of roles are you looking for right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's across the board. I mean, we actually, I hate saying this because I understand a lot of companies and a lot of employees have struggled during COVID. COVID has actually been good for us. We've had a banner year, and because of that, we're hiring like crazy. I think right now I have roughly like 30 open recs here at our corporate office, and then sales recs across the country, and soon to be a lot more. So I think next year we're looking to hire about 120 more. Oh. So we're literally, it's everything. So everything from our product team, which includes like our engineering team, so mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, to marketing. So we have, right now I'm hiring an Amazon marketing specialist. I'm hiring a retail product manager. I'm hiring an associate product marketing manager. We're hiring supply chain, so supply chain associates, managers, sales. I mean, you name it. Pretty much any function you can think of, accounting. If we don't have an open role for it right now, we will, shortly. So.
Wow. And on that, I know we got a couple of software engineers here. Are you hiring on that side of things as well?
Yeah. So right now we're hiring a digital product manager as we speak, and that's on our website right now. So we have our digital experience team that's really exploding. And for those of you that aren't familiar with our product, that is the direction of our product right now, is more of a digital experience than a hard good. So for those of you that are unaware or don't have a ton of experience with our product, we recently just put in, within the last couple of years, the product has been upgraded through what we call Wi-Fi. So it's now a tech product, to where, as an end consumer, you can control your grill from your phone. So you can turn the grill on, you can turn it off. It can send your phone alerts for when your food's done. So it's a really connected device now. And so we're really looking to have that be a strategic focus moving forward. And so our digital experience team, as well as our product team in our engineering side, there will be a lot of growth in those, and there has been a lot of growth in those functions for our business.
So for those that are joining that aren't grillers, can you just talk to why that's so cool and so important that you can do all of those cool things?
Yeah, I think there's a couple reasons. For a novice griller that's getting into smoking, it's intimidating, right? Like when people hear smoking, they think like long, arduous, processes and skills that they maybe don't have. And that's what Traeger really is awesome for, is to help automate a lot of that headache of smoking. And so, the Traeger product, before it was a connected device, was really great at automating. It works a lot like an oven. So I can put a piece of meat on there, and if I wanted to smoke it, I turn my dial to 225 and I let it smoke for 5 hours, and then I come back and do the rest of the process, right? Well, where the connected device piece of it, really makes it even more beneficial, is now I can get information real time, right? So I can literally put my put my brisket out on the grill, come inside, I can watch a football game, and I can have it give me live updates as to what my internal temperature of my meat is, right? Because I know that at 165, I need to pull off my brisket and wrap it, right? So I can get alerts alerting me every 10 degrees if I wanted to let me know, like, hey, your brisket's at 140 right now, and hey, your brisket's at 150 right now. And it just makes it a lot easier. It takes away a lot of the guessing process or checking process on it, so that you can free up your time. So if you're having a party and you're smoking ribs, you can set the ribs on the grill, you can go into your party, hang out with your friends, and not take away from the moment, but yet still know what's going on with your food on the grill. So it makes it an amazing experience for our end consumers. And again, we're looking to do even more with our connected device, stuff that I can't talk about. But it's going to be an amazing user experience as we continue to refine that.
So at the end of the day, I mean, Traeger wins for sure. The employees win, but who really wins is the consumer who's getting this freaking meat that's out of this world, right? Like, it's just better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, it looked like you had a video to share about, and it kind of goes through all of this. We're going to go ahead and share that video right now. And then for those of you who are jumping on, I see a ton of questions coming through. Go ahead and ask some more questions, because I'm going to be grilling Josh right off the video. Yeah.
And so just to cue up the video, guys, I just wanted to give you, it's hard to give you a glimpse into our culture, during COVID right now. I actually came into the office today for the first time, and I don't know how long, because I still want you to feel a little bit of what our culture is. And so I just want to share this quick video that Silicone Slopes did for us a couple years ago. My VP of brand would kill me if he knew I was sharing this, because it's not our branded video, and he's trying to redo our employer brand video. But I want to share it because it does give you a glimpse into our culture and into our environment, so that you guys can get a feel for kind of what we are as an employer brand. So I'll share this with you real quick.
We're not just building steel objects, we are teaching the world to cook. Post Skull Candy, I met this amazing brand called Traeger that had been around for nearly 30 years.
Well, I get to cook every day and make people happy, and my passion to cook, so I love it.
And I'm always kind of the naysayer on his investments. I have loved Traeger. I want him to stay forever and ever. It's been so fun for our family.
They say that you cannot trust a skinny chef. That is true. The reality is, I am not the face of this brand. I am not the face of barbecue.
I think the first thing that I noticed was the culture and the team that Jeremy was building.
We cook every day for our team. We think just eating our own cooking and living the culture and the lifestyle is so important.
My favorite part about Traeger is just that food connects everyone. So no matter where we are around the world, my job's the international business development, and so globally you just meet the most amazing people around the table.
My vision around being in Sugar House was that it's an awesome place to have creative talent, marketing, to really attract people both within the state and outside of the state.
It's all about the team and building the culture first and living the brand and having those aspects of how we live our lives transfer into our product and into our community. And
I put my phone in my pocket, I go for a mountain bike ride, and I check in on my brisket from way up the hill.
He's always very even keel when things are awesome. He's right there steady, and when things are not going so great, he's right there steady.
This is not your typical office. Our grills are steel. You'll see fire elements, and we're creating recipes. We're making food. Oh, I'm so sad that the camera can't smell.
The atmosphere at Traeger is unlike anywhere I've ever worked before. It gets me excited to wake up and come here every single day.
Early on in my career, failure felt fatal. And now in moments that feel tough, I see it as an intriguing learning experience, and I don't feel the same pressure. I feel more motivated by the challenge. Our brand is rustic. It stands for wood, its flavor, its richness. As a CEO, what I care about the most is that people actually have a good time and a good experience. Feels fun to me.
Awesome. So yeah, like I said, hopefully that kind of gave you guys a glimpse into, and it's funny, people are like, oh, there's no way there's like that many parties and stuff going on. There really are. Like, post or pre-COVID, I mean, we do so many events and so many things that, because we're an experienced brand, so we try to pub the experience as much as we can. And so they're really, we have full-time culinary staff that cooks lunch for us every day for our employees. So you get to live, eat, sleep our brand, and it's really something special.
Wow, that is incredible. And it was fun to hear another South African accent in there. So yeah, that's how you know it's good.
Exactly. Lance Meller, he's awesome.
That's great. Well, cool. We've had a couple questions come through here, so I'm gonna go through and ask some of those, and then as you guys have questions, feel free to put them here in the chat, and we can get to them. With Tim G, he says, coming in from New York City, and I think this session just made me hungry. So yep, you probably get that a lot. Robert's looking for marketing positions. I'm trying to find an actual question here in all of the chat. I would like to know what types of books or material Traeger uses in their trainings or asks their employees to read. Like, as you're kind of building up your employee knowledge base, what types of things are you reading about and thinking about?
Yeah, I think we've had a number of books that we've kind of, encouraged our employees to read, and had a couple of what we called them barbecue. We called it Barbecue and BS series, where we chose a book, our employees would read it, and then we'd have like a business case around it for Traeger for the employees to give a presentation onto our leadership team with principles around the book. So we used starting with why. We used Who Moved My Cheese. We used what were some of the other ones we used? A lot of like innovation and brand type of books that we, because we're, like I said, we're a brand, we're an experienced brand, we're innovative. We try to, stay cutting edge and stay, on top of our market. And so those are the types of books that we encourage and learnings that we encourage our employee base to stay up on.
Love that. That's really, really helpful. Those are great books. And so Raina is asking, she said she would like to know more about your operations roles, customer service type positions. What positions do you have available in that department?
Yeah, so our customer service team is growing like crazy. I will soon be posting, probably as early as next week, a knowledge base administrator role, kind of helping us with our online knowledge base system for our end consumers to use, as well as some of our retailers. So kind of creating content and managing that content. We have customer service analyst roles that I just filled, instructional designers. So we have a lot of different customer service roles that we have hired and will be hiring in the future.
Wow, this is great. And if you, Raina, if you have any more questions on that, feel free to put them in the chat here. And so, I guess this is a really good question. Tim asked, what are some of the main reasons the team grew from 70 to 300? Like, what the heck did Jeremy do when he came in to help the growth?
Yeah, he has a really cool article, I think, on Harvard Business Review. If you have a chance, just Google Jeremy Andrus and find the article. It's super cool. One of the things that he noticed when he bought the business was that they had two offices. They had the Oregon office, and then they had a sales office here in Utah. And he noticed that the culture between the two offices, and even within the two offices, was just really toxic. And so, his intent when he purchased the business wasn't to do what he did, which was basically start over. He let go a lot of the current employees. I think they only kept like 10, and just kind of started the business over from scratch. And he, in the article, he mentions, it's a lot easier to just start over than it is to try to change a toxic culture. And so one of the first things he did was he kind of laid some framework around our culture and our values. And, I know a lot of companies, because it's a cool thing to say, is, they believe in their values and their mission. at Traeger, we really do. Like it's not just things that we say. It like we talk about our company values almost every single meeting we have. We have a bonus program, a peer-to-peer bonus program focused on our values, to where we give every employee in the business $100 per quarter to bonus to another peer that embodied one of our values.
Wow.
Because we want our values to be top of mind for our employees, because we know that as we continue to grow and as we continue to see the rate of growth that we have, it's going to be harder and harder to protect that culture. And so the only way to do that is to ingrain our values into every single employee. And so we really do believe that our culture and our values is what the differentiator was. I mean, you can easily say too, like, you know, Jeremy's knowledge of product and knowledge of brand is also what led to it. But if you were to ask Jeremy, it would be that, you know, the focus on culture and environment was the main driver.
I mean, you can just look behind you right there, and the environment is incredible.
Yeah, and like he said in the video, like that, you know, everything in our office is branded, right? So it's steel, it's wood, it's fire. So it's like we're literally, that's why we feed our employees every single day with food cooked on our grills from our culinary stuff, because we are driving our culture, driving our mission, driving our brand into our employees, you know, sometimes too much so, but we really want people to believe in the brand and believe in our mission.
You're working inside a Traeger grill.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is cool. So let's see. Mackenzie said, or Tiffany says, "Hi, I'm tuning in from Hawaii. I'll be in Salt Lake City in Jan. This is great for interviews. Experienced client." So she's doing client-facing roles. So sorry, that wasn't a question. That was just an introduction.
Yeah.
More about let me see here. Jason says, "I noticed there is a data engineering role on the Traeger website currently. If one meets all of the basic qualifications for the job, what will make the applicants stand out? I mean, if you were this data engineer right now, what would you be doing at the moment to make sure that you set yourself up for success?"
Yeah, you know, I would do as much research into our brand and into our company, and in your application answers, and even in your resume. Like, I'm a big believer, like this might not be a very recruiter-like thing to say. I hate resumes. Like, I think resumes by and large are somewhat worthless, because it's like that first date, right? Like, you go on a first date with somebody and both of you are just putting up this facade of like how great you are. That's how I view resumes. So I struggle. I have a love-hate relationship with resumes. I understand their necessity and I get something from it. What I always encourage people to do is, if there's a brand or a company that you're truly interested in and you're not just mass applying, like, tailor your resume to the company that you're applying for. So like, I would call out, like, if I was applying for Traeger, I would have, like, on your bullet points from your experience, you know, like, let's say you were working at Pfizer, whatever. I don't know why that just came to my mind. But let's say you were working at Pfizer and you have all your bullet points from what you did at Pfizer. Call out how that is pertinent to our role here at Traeger. Like, you know, I did this at Pfizer, and because of that, I feel like, you know, you guys are, in your job description, you mentioned that you're looking for X, Y, and Z, and I feel like I can bring that to Traeger, right? So I'm a big believer in personalizing your resume as much as possible, because it'll stand out more than just, you know, a stock resume that I'm going to get and have to parse. I mean, I get, for any open role, I'm averaging around 150 applicants or so. So yeah, you're going to need to stand out somehow. And so in your application questions that we ask you, you know, do some research into our brand and find out what our brand is and what our company is all about, and find a way to, like, speak to that in your answers and in your resume.
Love that. That's awesome. So let's see, we've got Marin asking, "Hi Josh, applied for the senior brand director position in September through your website. What about marketing resumes experience for this role? What about marketing resumes experience for this role will speak out to get a first interview?" Yeah, so let me answer specifically and then in general. So
for that role, we do have a candidate that we're in the offer stage with right now. So that one's pretty close to being wrapped up. In general, for any like marketing roles, I know our marketing team is in generally looking for somebody with, you know, a big bonus. This isn't a must-have, but a big bonus for our marketing team, specifically in a role like that, is consumer product experience. It's just a different animal from, you know, SaaS or software roles that, you know, some people come with experience-wise. So it's a big differentiator for us if somebody has what we call CPG experience. So that's a big one. You know, we look for like brands, like kind of like outdoor industry type of brand experience. So those are again, those aren't must-haves, but they do differentiate a lot of candidates. So for instance, the candidate that we are in the offer stage with on that role is coming from well, I was going to tell you what brand this person might be coming from, but I don't want to say that in case somebody knows. Yeah. Anyways, he's coming from a consumer product, a well-known consumer product brand in the vehicle industry, if that's as much as I'll say. But you know, we're looking for somebody that knows product and that knows how to and has experience in it.
This is awesome. Josh, I've been asking these questions. It's been so good talking to you that I lost track of time, and we're actually over time right now. But we just want to say we appreciate you taking so much time to talk to us about what it's like to work at Traeger and telling us about the awesome culture and the things that are going on there. For those of you who have joined, thank you so much for coming in, introducing yourself, putting yourself out there, asking questions and telling us what you're looking for. We're fired up that you're here. And so with that all said, I wanted to give you an idea of next steps. Next steps, you know, Josh will have a list of all of the folks that joined this session, and he'll be able to reach out to you from there if he's interested in chatting. You can also reach out to him on LinkedIn. I'm assuming we don't have a Mentally profile for you just yet, but hopefully soon. And then if you are looking for a position at Traeger, what is the link that they can follow, Josh?
So they can go to our careers page on our website, traegergrills.com/careers. You can email me directly. It's always a good way to get a hold or just to ask questions and kind of get your face, you know, in front of me. My email is really easy to remember. It's Josh, JOSH, @traegergrills.com. So you can email me directly on any questions you have. I can kind of let you know, like for instance, that brand director role. There are a few roles that we have posted right now that we're pretty close to. You know, we're in the offer stage in for a couple of them. So if you have questions about where we're at in the process with that role, or if you just want more information about it, or just kind of want to learn more about Traeger, feel free to shoot me an email directly.
Awesome. This is fantastic. I posted both of those in the chats. And so for everyone joining, thank you so much for taking the time. This is our last session for today. So we'll see you on next Get Hired Summit, or Get Hired Live is going to be not next week, but the week after. So be sure to join us. We've got some fantastic companies joining. Qualtrics, I got to go actually back and check some of the other employers, but they're going to be joining us there. So to join us. But then Josh, thank you so much for taking the time again, and looking forward to seeing you guys soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.